Most Americans are in the support of communism and they don't even know it. Seriously, communism has dominated America for more than a century. Before you start thinking this is some kind of crazy conspiracy theory, please, seriously, hear me out. I'm breaking it down for you and giving you proof and giving you material facts directly from the Communist Manifesto written by Karl Marx. Look, Karl Marx, he's old school. He's no longer alive. He's not an American. Back in the 19th century, you know, he had some concerns. One of them I agree with, which was the child labor issue. He did not like that, which, you know, great. Great. Now, what do you do about it, okay? Well, you've got these children just kind of running around. What are you going to do with them? Well, he went out and said, okay, great, let's go ahead and educate them. And of course, you know, you have these voluntary concentration camps, you know, public schools, by the government, okay? Now, the thought process behind these planks, 10 planks of communism, you're bringing all these things together in one, okay? Now, before I get into the Communist Manifesto, okay, I want to give you a little definition and some examples of what communism is. Look, I personally only really learned about communism maybe, I don't know, 2002, 2003. When I was really getting more involved with this politics thing and government and all that. But you hear a lot of your politicians talk about how they're going to create jobs for you, they're going to provide your health care, and they're going to, of course, they're going to educate your children because you're just too stupid to educate them yourself, that they want you to think that. They're trying to earn your vote by, you know, basically bribing you. But you need to understand, 100% of Democrats are hardcore communists. These two major parties are really just pushing it. And then, of course, Republicans, I previously caucused with that party. More than 90% of Republicans, I refer to them as communist lights. You know, and of course, they also talk about providing you with health care and ways to get the children educated, and of course, they won't provide jobs for you. More than 90% of Republicans are communist lights. Then you have the Libertarian Party and Constitution Party and other parties. Of course, you have the Independents. You have very, very few communists out there, you know. But the big difference is that, you know, you've got capitalism, far extreme side, and then of course another extreme side you have totalitarianism. Right behind totalitarianism, that total rule, no choices, is communism. You might have a little bit of choice in the matter. You know, you might have this guise of a republic or a democracy. You know, people come together and they vote on something. You know, that's a guise. You know, that's what they're showing you. Now, give you a little bit of a definition and some examples of communism. Communism is really the, you hear the word of public a lot. Okay, it's the community having common ownership through government. That's the key word there. Through, and then government brings it, you know, together, of course, which takes away your choice. Oh wait, government's doing it, you got to do this. You know what I'm saying? Just right below totalitarianism. Okay. Public sewers. You know, the people come together and they have a sewer commonly owned by the people. Obviously, your roads are across the board. Water. Now, in Cleveland, Ohio, for example, and many other municipalities all throughout America, the larger cities really own this, you know, the waterways, okay? And they jump on it, they put pipes under the ground, and into your house. They can jump on it. That might be totalitarianism, depending on how it's established. Truly, though, it's you know, you're going to have a lot of communism with those water systems and how they have that working, okay? Libraries. I refer to libraries as communist centers. Regardless of how we want to look at it, they're public, people come together, and it's paid for the people all together in this big pie. And then, of course, you've got recreation centers. It's a big one now in the 21st century. Many municipalities are doing this. Some counties are doing that too, all throughout America. Smaller, you know, forms of government are doing that. So you've got the whole city, maybe a village, whatever the case might be. They say, well, let's go ahead and put it on the ballot. have a levy for this. Pay for it through real estate taxes, income tax. Everybody's going to pay for it, whether you're a member of a recreation center or not. That's how that works. And I can get everybody to be a part of this thing. I remember when Hillary Clinton, it was a classic, she was running for president in 2008. She was talking about communitarianism. I thought, wow. Seriously, she said communitarianism. She didn't know what she was saying, of course, but it was really communism. She was saying to do this through the government. Now look, communities coming together and doing something, whatever, on their own, that's one thing, okay? But when you go through the government, that's communism. Public utilities, your electricity. The opposite of communism, for example, with electricity, would be solar panels, wind turbine, the community coming together instead of through government and actually just forcing, you don't have any other choices. Sewers, of course, I mentioned sewers. Septic tanks, complete opposite. It's personal responsibilities, cleaner, better for the environment. The water, of course, you have a cistern, you're going to have a well, and that's how that is. And you need to read the first chapter of Proverbs, first few verses of Proverbs. I'm going to read the 14th verse here for you, okay, which brings all this together. The writer says, don't run with these guys. They're devising evil and all that. Check this out here. 14th verse, first chapter, Proverbs. King James Version. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. This is obviously originally written in Old Hebrew, the Old Testament of the Bible. One purse. It's the whole idea of this. One purse. That's how it works. Common ownership, bring it all together. And then, of course, you have the issue of a stateless government. People are going to argue, well, look, hold on, Werner, I'm talking about stateless government in America. Have you seen it? I argue that America is very similar to Sri Lanka. It's a disaster in America, seriously. Pay attention. This country has many great laws. Countries fail to enforce those laws. It's a disaster. Many judges, prosecutors just really don't know what they're doing because of we the people, obviously are not jumping out there and telling them how it should be. Look at the Constitution. And even going further back, the Declaration of Independence, in many ways, they did settle for communism. It's been amended, obviously needs some more work and amendments. But, Communist Manifesto, here we go, I'm going to get into that.